Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Richo or Adrian Richardson or whatever you want to call me. I'd like to welcome you to the 2023 Melbourne Food and Wine Festival Suckling Pig Feast. As you know, this is a feast that's been running for nearly 20 years now, and it's an outstanding success for all of us, and hopefully it'll be an outstanding success for you as well. It's all about celebrating the pig and all of the wonderful things that we make from the pig. And of course, we get to eat a whole pig ourselves. Not the whole thing for yourselves, but believe me, there'll be so much pig, you'll feel like you've eaten a whole pig. Now, what I like to do at the start is just run through the menu and what we're going to have today. And of course, I will apologize for not being there, but if you're watching me or listening to me, you'll be there. And somewhere you can imagine I'll be just sitting on your shoulder there, whispering in your ear, just have some more pig, just a little more pork, just one tiny little bit more. That's what I'll be there doing. All right, now I'm going to start to run through the feast, and it's all about having a feast. It's all about getting to know the people around you. And that's why we have plenty of booze hitting the table, some sparkling, some red, some white, and plenty of beer will be hitting the table. And that's all day. That's for you guys. Just sensible drinking of alcohol, you know what I mean? So make sure you enjoy the alcohol and drink safely. Well, and this is me telling you that. Now we're going to start with the menu. We've got bacon and onion bread with pork butter. One of the most delicious things. We're doing it a little bit differently this year. We're doing it in a focaccia style, a little bit more rustic, and we like the chewiness of it, the way it sort of melts and that butter melts into it, and that butter becomes so delicious with that bread. And as you know, I say it every year, for all the rookies that haven't been here before, that bread is going to be the end of you. If you eat that bread, it's nice and warm and just come out of the oven. It is really delicious, especially with that butter. But if you eat that bread, you're not going to make it to the end. That's a shame, isn't it? It's going to be the end of you. But the other people who are on the table who have been here before, they know and they've left the bread for you. But to start with, you've got the bread, of course, and then we're going to go on with our Artisan handmade small goods that are all made by mostly Angelo and some of myself, all made at La Luna Bistro. And we're quite proud of the small goods that we make. It's part of Angelo and my background. We're both Italian, and we feel that hand making small goods is the best way to do it. Anything that's made at home, which is La Luna's our home, anything that's made at home is always going to taste better, and I'm hoping that you will agree. Now, I'll run through the small goods. You're going to have some brawn, something that my grandfather taught me to make when I was a very young lad. It's made from the pig's head, boiled and simmered away until it all becomes rich and gelatinous, and then it's set and then sliced and popped on the plate. We've got a couple of different types of salami, some mild salami and hot salami. It is really, really delicious as well. Salami is one of my favorite things. Some lombardo, which is the loin that's been cured in spices, salt and pepper, and air dried, nice and thin. It's almost like the poor man's prosciutto, and I think it's almost as delicious as well. Now, the round pancetta is made from the loin and the belly, which is seasoned and cured. A lot more fat in there, a lot more flavor, and it is really, really rich. And just to add a little bit more fat to your diet, we've got the lardo, which is what I call pork butter or white prosciutto. It will kill you. You'll feel your heart slowing down a little bit. You'll be a little bit short of breath, but what a way to go. It is one of the most delicious things in the entire world. Almost as delicious as the undulia. And I'll say that again, undulia. You'll see it a lot in a lot of pizzas. People put it on pizzas. They use it to cook with pasta. Sometimes you'll find it grilled with grilled octopus. Lots of different ways of using it. Basically, it's a Calabrian style salami that's spreadable. It's almost like minced salami. It's a beautiful thing, lots of spice in there, lots of flavor. I do hope you give it a go. We usually drown it in olive oil, pick it up, put it on some bread or some of the croutons that are there, and I think you'll love it just like me. Now, all of these small goods are with our own house-made pickles and olives. They all go together beautifully. And you're thinking, the day should just stop there. They are so delicious, but no. As it says here, and it keeps on going. We move on to what we call the second bracket, but the bit that keeps on going. We've got some of the other lovely things that we make from pigs because it is a celebration of that wonderful animal, the pig. Some of the things that we make really, really lovely from the pigs is the crispy pig's ears with balsamic glaze, chili and coriander. It started off as a staff meal, but the pig's ears that are nice and crispy, almost pork chips, they are fantastic. They are delicious. There's the bacon croquettes with bacon jam mayonnaise and a little sprinkling of chive over the top of them. Bacon croquettes, they are the most delicious things. Pork balls, I call them, and they are fantastic. Crumbed and deep fried, what could be wrong with that? And then we move on to the cotechino, which is one of the other things that I love. Cotechino we use all the skin, the tendon, all the scruffy bits that are left over from making all of the other small goods, are ground down, seasoned and spiced and made into a very, very large sausage, well, large to some people. And then of course we grill them and serve them with lentils. I think you're looking for something that's rich and gelatinous. It's a beautiful winter style sausage, grilled or fried. I think it's a beautiful dish and you'll like it as well. With lentils, it is lovely. And then of course, there's the bull boar sausages. Sausages are my favorite thing. You take an animal, you fatten it up, and then when it's ready to go, you pop a bullet in its head, cut it up into little pieces, season it, spice it, add some herbs and some salt, and then stuff it into its own intestines. The beautiful circle of life. What could be better than a sausage? And you're eating some beautiful bull boar sausages. They're fantastic. And then it keeps on going from there. We're going to go on to the little baby pigs. These are delicious pigs. These pigs are free-range pigs, although for 4 months they didn't have very long to free range, but they're free range just outside of Geelong, and they are beautiful little tiny suckling pigs, and I'll introduce them all to name. And they are all named by me. They're all delicious little pigs and you'll like them all. They're roasted in the oven. Takes about 55 minutes and they're going to come around. You'll see them very soon. They're going to come around. You're going to see them all. You can take a picture of them, although there's a couple of the guys holding those pigs are actually on the witness protection program. A couple of those guys used to run with the Comancheros, and they're now giving evidence against the Comancheros. So please, no photos of the chef's faces. And with the little baby pigs, they're all chopped up Spanish style. So you got bones, you got crackling in there, got lots of juicy meat, succulent meat, really, really rich. And if you see a couple of tables, we'll get the whole head on there, rip it apart. That's where I think some of the best meat is. And with the little baby pigs, we've got some sweet apple and brandy pork jus. Just that lovely, lovely sauce that goes over the top of it. We call it a jus, but you can call it a gravy if you want. But I know that if I call it a jus, I can charge more money for it. Anyway, moving on, we've got some pork fried potatoes, crispy, cooked with some garlic butter and parsley. The garlic is really good for, really important. It's really good for a good night's sleep. A little bit of garlic on your breath at night time, so when you get a little tap on the shoulder by your partner, breathe out, and they're going to leave you alone, and you have a good night's sleep. And also this thing called salad. Now we've fixed it up. We've got iceberg lettuce. I don't know what that is, but we put some crispy bacon on it, some yogurt and orange dressing to make it even more delicious. And to top it all off, we have some lovely Basque cheesecake with some chantilly cream, a lovely little dessert to finish everything off. Now, the whole event is a big sharing, caring, loving event. This is all about sharing everything around, talking to the people about you, talking to the people around you about the food, and sharing your experience. Lots of booze to make everything happen, to enjoy the whole night. Lots of booze to make everything happen. And lots of lovely wine and beer to make it even more enjoyable. I hope you enjoy your feast this afternoon, and thank you very much for coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, here's to the pig.